Hello, this is Charles Dentz, and we are about to start our executive briefing on automation best practices for 2021. And we'll just talk about those best practices and how they can be applied for a competitive advantage. Okay, give me one moment and we will get going. All right, so here we go. Using a new tool. As many of you, I have used Zoom quite a bit this year. Today, I'm using a new tool, and so hopefully everything goes off okay with no technical difficulties. Used it a few times before already, and it has worked very well. So I hope that is the case again today. So let's begin. So if you will, want you to really hone in on how this will be focused on best practices and best practices as it relates to automating manual business processes. So Sun Tzu said, preparation is the precursor to success. And the information I share today is all about having a plan. But having a plan is not enough. Having a plan to take the right steps and actions is the key. So my promise to you today is that as I share these basics, and they are the basics of how you can accomplish and hopefully accomplish what you were not able to accomplish before, or at least have an understanding how to do so, how you can create greater productivity in your business, and then also how you can have long-term success when it's done the right way. So hopefully you come out of here with more insight, hope, and excitement so that you can have long-term success. So what am I going to cover? Well, today, again, is all about best practices to resolve manual business processes, sort of challenges that businesses face with their manual business processes. So first of all, I want to share that a strategic automation roadmap is key to reaching and reduce project and labor costs. I also want to share that you can do that with fewer resources that are performing manual tasks and processes, and how you can achieve 100% transaction accuracy because of automation. And then how it's possible to create a positive return on investment in 6 to 12 months. So what am I sharing today? I would like to share with you how that you can achieve guaranteed results. And as you automate your manual processes. And the key to it is to have three main ingredients. And those three main ingredients are a strategic plan, a roadmap, and an operating model. And once that's in place, you will more than likely have guaranteed success, but it has to be done in a certain way. And I'll also share at the end or give you access to a strategic planning tool, as well as a return on investment calculator. So every great change starts like falling dominoes. And this is what B.J. Thornton said. And it's the domino effect. And so when you think about this concept, in this case, using this illustration, here's a small domino, 5 millimeters high, 1 millimeter thick. And then it goes to the largest domino, which is 1 meter tall and weighs about 100 pounds. And that small 5 millimeter domino, once it starts to fall, it knocks over the next domino, which is 50% larger, which next knocks over the next domino, which is 50% larger, and it becomes a geometric domino fall versus the regular linear fall of a regular domino fall. So this domino effect, this is the concept that automation strategy consultants use, or ASC. That's what we use to apply to our planning of automation initiatives. And why does it work? Because extraordinary success is sequential. It's not simultaneous. And this applies to the big picture of an automation initiative, but I guess it applies to any initiative, but particularly we apply this into how we help companies with guaranteed success. And success happens by accomplishing the right one thing at a time. But it's the right one thing at a time. And so this is a concept that I actually got from a book called The One Thing. So who am I? My name is Charles Dentz. I am the president of Automation Strategy Consultants. And this year started out with some nice speaking engagements. I like to speak about automation and how it improves business. But with the pandemic, like everyone else, I went virtual in March. So first 2 months, I started out great. March changed that. And so it's been virtual ever since, which we're doing again today. And I've been part of, obviously, automation projects, particularly with robotic process automation and intelligent automation, as well as M&A projects, process improvements, service delivery, ERP. So these large projects, and the one thing that is the common denominator is making things better. So making things better for a business, and that's really at the core of why I started Automation Strategy Consultants, is to help make things better for businesses. So what are the business challenges that are faced? And so we'll explore what these business challenges are that really are faced by all businesses, and we'll look at how these business challenges can hold businesses back from having a competitive advantage. So there are really 8 things here I want to just target and select for you. So return on investment, there's always a need for concrete evidence of return on investment for any project that companies do. And automation projects are notorious for that. They're not do not have as much visibility and transparency as they should. And so we help you do that. So cost reduction is always an issue because there are always tight margins, and that has increased, particularly in 2020. And then we look at improved processes. There's always a constant goal to improve processes that, and particularly manual processes. There's the elimination of human repetition, which when you look at human repetition in high volume situations, there are always human error that's involved. And so you want to eliminate as much human error as you can. Then scalability. Scalability is a real issue within and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's a real issue in automation initiatives because they get stuck. But it's all about preparing and planning for growth as well as for the unplanned, like a pandemic. Compliance and risk management is a key issue for all businesses because there's increased pressure on businesses to eliminate risk. And then customer experience. All customers expect excellence. So it's something that you can't get around because customers expect excellence from who they interact with. And then improve service delivery. So it doesn't matter if it's internal customers or external customers, all customers expect their delivery, whatever it happens to be correct the first time. So from a strategic perspective, I like to talk to you about how that you can achieve the 80 to 90% project cost savings, how you can reduce costs, labor cost, and how you can do that with fewer resources performing manual tasks, and then how you can also have up to 100% transaction accuracy with high compliance and a return on investment within 6 to 12 months. So the problem that most companies have is to be consistent in achieving results and having a plan, having a framework in order to do that. They don't necessarily follow best practices, particularly as it relates to automation projects. So what I will share with you today will be 3 best practices for each of the previously mentioned business challenges. So first one is return on investment. And it's really about transparency and being clear on what's reported and reporting on a consistent basis. And so consistently measure, consistently report. So number 1 on FTE operating cost avoidance, whatever that happens to look like, manual error reduction and compliance accuracy, and then 3 on net annualized return. Once you start reporting at this level, it gives a tremendous amount of transparency, and it will lead to even improving reporting process even further. But this is a foundational concept that really gets you to where you want to be. So from a scalability standpoint, avoid wrong processes. Many initiatives, automation initiatives today have an issue with scaling, and a lot of it has to do with poor planning as well as just automating the wrong processes. So that's number 1, just avoid the wrong processes. So you really need a framework to select the right ones. Number 2 is to consider end-to-end processes. So most automation initiatives are basically task automation, so automating a single set of tasks. But the key is to look at processes from end to end and what can be automated from end to end. And that is a key to really driving toward not only scalability, but for return on investment. And then target both attended and unattended. And what that means is that there's automations that are attended. That is that a staff member, an employee has a software robot that they can have help them perform their tasks and perform them very efficiently. Or unattended is more like an IT type of application that can be scheduled. And so both are key to scalability as well as to return on investment. So cost reduction is the 3 things there I like to mention is start with rule-based tasks. So those are the easy ones to find. There's that are very visible and again, just easy to find. Number 2 is then focus on high volume repeating tasks that have predictable outcomes. And number 3 is to then look at processes with unpredictable outcomes. So those processes are the ones that then start leading you into intelligent automation and really get a huge return on your investment. So compliance and risk management and risk. So compliance and risk professionals, they deal with a lot of data. And so automation can help them with collecting and compiling and summarizing this data, and will make their job much more efficient. And number 2, you can then refocus those particular FTEs to judgment-based type of processing. And then number 3, they can even be assigned to for automation traceability. So making sure that all the automation is doing what it's supposed to do. So it creates a very highly compliant organization when automation is applied to compliance and risk management. So for improved processes, the 3 points here. Number 1, again, do not automate bad processes. This is there's a concept in the industry that you can automate bad processes and be okay. That's not a good idea. So it just doesn't work. And number 2 is to optimize bad processes. So document. Most knowledge workers, they do work on rote. Yeah, they may have procedures, they may have SOPs, but a lot of the work they do is rote. So if you're just going by what they already have documented or what they say, it's difficult to know if that particular process is as efficient as it needs to be. So you need to document it so it can be optimized. And then once optimized, then it can be automated. And the key thing there is that it doesn't take long to optimize most processes. So you can get it optimized and get it on the list for automation pretty quickly. Then customer experience, so identify those processes that are manual processes with documentation, then update that documentation, make sure all the steps are clear, and then only automate qualified manual processes. So again, I mentioned that having a process selection framework, so you're selecting the right ones, is key as well. It's not mentioned here, but that is very key. So improve service delivery, prioritize targeted high volume departments, and then automate the processes that they have that bring immediate benefit. So benefit can be realized very, very quickly within days and weeks. And then also take automation enterprise-wide, and that's when you achieve very high return on investment. So what's our approach? So ASC has an approach that we like to take as simply as this, that you have to understand where you are. So this is where strategic planning really comes in, is to understand where you are. And then also to then understand where you want to go. What's the vision? What's the end game of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to reach? And then in the middle of that, you have to figure out, how do you get there? What's the goal? What do you need to do in order to fill that gap? And once you get those answers, then you can build an automation strategic roadmap that can then take you from A to C. And we have a specific way we like to do it, but that is really the key, is how do you get from A to C, and how do you get all the questions answered before you start, so that you can create the roadmap that strategically helps you have success. So industry trends. These industry trends are really quite disturbing in some ways. So 44% of executives that were surveyed by Bain and Company, they basically said that they've had failed to produce the type of bottom line results that they were looking for in their automation projects. So that's a very high percentage. It doesn't have to be. 50%, greater than 50% of all RPA programs worldwide employ fewer than 10 bots. So bots, software robots, digital workers, they're kind of known by different names, but they're software robots. And then out of that, greater than 50% that say that, less than 19% of RPA installations are at an advanced stage of maturity. So Forrester reports that, and so that's another disturbing stat, if you will. And then 50% of RPA implementations will fail. That is very startling to me, because you're talking about investments that then result in a net negative type of investment. And so that these particular, and this is reported by Gartner, and this particular one says 50% of RPA implementations will fail to deliver sustainable ROI by 2021. So a lot of companies have begun doing process automation, whether it's robotic process automation, some type of intelligent automation, but the majority are not getting the results that they intend to get. So far, what I've shared with you today is that we uncovered just ways to reach the goals that you would like to achieve in terms of project cost savings and labor cost savings, as well as performing high volume of processes with fewer resources, and how you can obtain 100% transaction accuracy, and while doing that, also get a return on investment within 6 to 12 months. So that's what we've covered today up to this point. And so This is another study that was done by McKinsey and Company, and they essentially said that companies that were successful with their automation initiatives, it became a strategic priority with the company. And so that's what this is showing. Then 70% of those organizations that reported success, they simply said it was a designated, automation was designated as a strategic priority for the company, for the business. So, and then it also mentions about developing an operating model, and this is how you deliver on your automation initiatives. And another thing that's not here on this slide is that they also said that it's a priority to focus on people. People are kind of the key to, one of the keys to having success in your automation initiative. So I want to share with you just quickly about the ASC strategic framework and how we go about delivering success. And so it really starts with an assessment and getting a high level strategic plan in place, asking all the right questions. Then we recommend a detailed plan and as well as begin to build a strategic roadmap. And then we harmonize that to really complete it and make sure we have all the right things in place. And so it can be implemented. Then we optimize that particular gathering, and we continue to improve it. We basically do a test, improve it, and then we build a continuous return on investment framework. So you can continually have improvements, continually have a positive return on investment. Then we move into an advisory state where we monitor, we coach, and we train, and so that we either then at that point finish or reiterate. We continue to improve. So that's our process that we apply. And from our perspective, this is all about cost and return on investment at each phase of a project. That's the purpose of the roadmap, and so that it's clear where you are at every stage in every phase. And what it does is it shows you how, when, what types of deployments are being deployed, when you will see a positive return on investment, and then you can pivot resources, as well as then have templates to actually execute efficiency. And with that, we then focus on the three primary things I mentioned earlier: having a strategic plan, having a roadmap, and an operating model. And that then also leads to the continuous return on investment framework. So what are your next steps? Your next steps are, have you been equipped or you have been equipped with new knowledge? And that's what my desire is, that you have some new knowledge of how to be more efficient and more productive in your automation initiatives. And you can begin that today with the information that I've shared with you. Or you can ask me to help. I'm willing to help you implement this new knowledge and so that you can be guaranteed the success that I mentioned. And if you would like to do that, to take advantage of my help, and I can share that with you here in just a moment. So my strategic offer to you, just to help you get going, is to go through our assessment phase with you, and then understand what your needs are, understand what your goals are, and to then ask the right questions and build that high-level strategic plan for you. And then it will help you then move forward and have clarity on how to move forward. So that brings us to the end of our executive briefing today. But you can contact me directly through my email at charles.dents@automationstrat.com, and email me and ask for if you're interested in having that strategic planning tool and the ROI calculator. Just put in the subject line strategic planning tool, and I will provide that information to you. Or you can go also to our website, automationstrat.com/contact, where you can schedule some time for us to have a discussion about, what your needs are, what your challenges are, and then we can decide on what next steps are from there. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn, as well as follow on Twitter. So any questions? And you can ask me anything. So again, here's your staff, and I look forward to working with you and look forward to having an opportunity to bring value to your organization. So take care and have a good day.